Dr. Mashelkar, President Pune International Center, Dr. Vijay Kelkar, Vice President, Shri Haldar, President Policy Perspective Foundation, Shri KM Singh, Vice President PPF, General Patankar, convener of this event, esteemed ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I heartily compliment the Pune International Center, Policy Perspective Foundation, the Tribune Trust for organizing the 6th annual Pune Dialogue on a very topical theme of national security preparedness in the age of disasters and pandemics. I feel privileged to speak to this august gathering, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity. Friends, most of you associated with the organizations conducting this event have been eminent practitioners in the fields of national security, diplomacy, and strategic studies. You are all well aware of the transformative changes that are taking place in the global security landscape. Wars are increasingly becoming cost-ineffective instruments of achieving nations' political and military objectives. They are being substituted by what contemporary strategists describe as war by other means. Probably today, it needs to be expanded to include threats through other sources. Well, friends, the new areas of warfare have shifted from merely territorial frontiers to the civil society. The common people, their thinking, their perceptions, their health, their sense of well-being, their perception of their own governments have assumed new importance. This also includes their physical well-being and sense of physical safety and security. Cumulatively, all these elements impact on the will of the nation, which is a vital force of a nation's strength. When the civil society gets degraded, their faith in the governments and its institutions get eroded, then there is always an internal turmoil. The security doctrines of fourth generation warfare are also people-centric rather than territory-centric. The new form of warfare estimates that targeting the civil society and the people is a low-cost and sustainable option to bleed the adversary. The COVID pandemic and devastating natural disasters have the potential to impact on collective psyche of the people, their economic well-being, and instill fears about their survival. It generates social imbalances that can threaten political stability, economic growth, and even the capacity of a nation to resolutely meet its external and internal threats. These new genre of security threats present the states with a multi-layered dilemma on a massive scale. At the micro level, saving individual lives, providing medical care and support to people, ensuring supplies of food and essential commodities, maintaining law and order are just few amongst many. At the macro level, the problems include finding effective preventive and curative medicines and administering these to combat the ever-evolving new strains of viruses and ensuring smooth supply chains. A key challenge is working out strategies for growth in this environment that are sustainable and avoids environmental degradation. Protecting people from false and motivated propaganda also becomes absolutely necessary in this age of information revolution. National security planning needs to factor in all these challenges as also strategies to get maximum international cooperation. COVID-19 has brought science, data, and economic security to the center of national security planning. In fact, many path-breaking solutions have emerged from this city of Pune itself. The National Institute of Virology, the Serum Institute of India, Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, and the Center for Development of Advanced Computing have all contributed to meeting the challenges generated by the pandemic. Decisions about maintaining strategic national stockpiles, ensuring the availability and smooth supply of critical equipment and materials, and fortifying early alert frameworks have all become important elements of national security planning. The pandemic has further reinforced the need to predict threats, while biological research has legitimate scientific purposes. Its dual-use applications can be misused. The deliberate weaponization of dangerous pathogens is a serious concern. This has heightened the need to build comprehensive national capabilities in biodefense, biosafety, and biosecurity. Climate change is another threat multiplier with unpredictable consequences. It impacts the availability of resources, which are increasingly become scarce and could become source of conflict and competition. Climate change can accelerate instability and cause massive population displacements. By 2030, 600 million people in India are expected to live in the urban areas. Migrations from low-lying coastal areas in South Asia due to climatic change can add to the already stressed urban infrastructure. All these will present problems of internal security management, economic security, water and food security, just to name a few. In such an evolving national security environment, there is a need to reinvent and innovate ourselves. Rapid developments are taking place in fourth industrial revolution technologies like artificial intelligence, autonomous and unmanned systems and digital infrastructure. Social media and disinformation is adding to the complexity of national security management. A fuller integration of science and technology in all aspects of development and security has therefore become essential. Advances in science and technology will help prevent hazards from becoming disasters. The advanced technologies like prediction technologies and risk communication techniques are being applied to every facet of disaster risk reduction. Disasters and pandemics are borderless threats which cannot be combated in isolation. Today's world of high connectivity and global opportunity also makes it a world of high vulnerability. They have to evolve strategies to maximize our gains and minimize our losses. Global and regional coordination is a key factor, for which India has initiated several steps in forums like BIMSTEC, Indian Ocean Rim Association, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and Quad. Seamless exchange of information and intelligence, sharing of experience and lessons learned, technology transfer and coordination are important for disaster management and mitigation. Well, friends, climate change, environmental degradation, and pollution are realities that threaten our very survival. Businesses and security apparatuses need to focus on disaster resilient infrastructure and preserving natural resources for our future generations. An important climate change summit is coming up in Glasgow in early November. India is committed to meet its climatic goals and has already undertaken several path-breaking measures. Harmony with nature has been a cornerstone of Indian civilization. Preservation of environment while pursuing its ambitious economic goals is the guiding doctrine of the present government's developmental policies. With a population of 1300 million, India's per capita greenhouse gas emission is 2.47 tons of carbon dioxide, as compared to the global average of 6.45 tons of carbon dioxide. This is 60% lower than the global average. We have already met nearly 50% of our commitment to achieve 450 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity by 2030. In addition, we have undertaken a series of measures to decarbonize India's economy. These targets have been widely applauded at global level. At the same time, while India is taking all these steps, it is important for the world to understand that given our size, population, and unique developmental requirements, our commitments cannot be compared with those of the Western world. The most enduring message of COVID-19 pandemic and climate change is that only the well-being of all will ensure the survival of all. Those who have greater resources should expand their embrace so that it touches the lives of maximum people. I would like to conclude by wishing the 6th Pune Dialogue on National Security all the success. I am confident that concrete policy options will emerge at the end of these deliberations. This will provide valuable inputs to policymakers in meeting the challenges posed by disasters and pandemics. Thank you and Jai Hind.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं मानक गुप्ता। अगर आपको हमारा ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो इसे लाइक और शेयर जरूर करें और हां, हमें सब्सक्राइब और फॉलो करना ना भूलें ताकि आप देश और दुनिया की कोई खबर मिस ना करें। तो जुड़े रहिए हमारे साथ और देखते रहिए News24।